All right, I'm going to say wow, because just as about I was considering packing this thing up and saying, see you later, let's move on to something bigger, I went ahead and played through the December 24th turn, Christmas Eve. And I told myself before I started, you know what? You're 2 days away from finishing this thing, or three. Let's punish somebody. Either let's punish the Germans with the Americans, or let's punish the Americans with the Germans. Well, obviously it had to be the Germans, because that's the only chance they were going to get to win, is to just go completely hog wild. So I took some risks, big risks, not like risks of 2-to-1 attacks. I mean, I took some big movement risks. All right, look at the devastation to the Americans. All right, while their across the ocean buddies are taste testing their biscuits and drinking tea and sunbathing along the Meuse, even though there's 8 feet of snow on the ground. Sure could use their help. The Germans have reinforcements coming. The Americans don't really get anything till the very last day, the day after Christmas. So I don't know what's going to happen. All right, so victory conditions. All right, so it's 20 points, 20 victory locations on the East map, which I'm pretty sure we've got that. And then your options are all 4 hexes of Liege. It was 4 or 6 of the victory locations that are along the Meuse River. You know, some are on this side, some are on the other side where the Brits are sitting. And you know, and those 2 British armored units up there, they're pretty strong. So I don't foresee me going after them. Although I could bypass and come around behind them. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference, or if we can even get there. So another option is, this is along with the 20 points on the eastern map, is 8 victory locations on the west map. That seems pliable or doable. And I think I have 5 already. And it looks like the Germans on the next turn can grab, pretty sure they can grab 2 more. I know they can grab Rochefort right there. That unit up here, I got to take that strategic marker of him. He's sitting on 1. Now, let me tell you what I did. Gosh, combat decisions. The things we do, and then you do your best to tell yourself, no, I did that. I have to live with that, and it's even hard. It's hard when you're playing solo, because it's just too simple to pick it up and move it. There's the subtle little thing that we all do. I'm sure we're playing. Oh, I didn't mean to move him to that 1 hex. I meant him to be over here to this hex. Subtle stuff. All right, or no, I don't want to do that combat after you realize the odds are 27-1, 1-27. We change our mind. Oh, I wouldn't do that. That would be stupid. That's where we cut out the fog of war when it comes to intels. When we decide, oh, we got a 1-2 attack. No, I'm not going to do that because we thought it was going to be 3-1. We all do it. Don't deny it. So, let me tell you what I did over here. Well, we got to start around Bastogne. All right, you can see there. Looks like Bastogne, they got a pretty good firm foothold in there, right? They do. Looks like the Americans are backing off. You're right, they are. Why are the Americans backing off? Because of the bold, risky execution, drive, tracked vehicles on roads, strategic move, paragliders if I'd have had them. I decided, screw this, I'm going to break out. I'll split up units. I may even have to go to breakdowns if necessary, and I'll just try to do the best I can with Zachmond where I can, but I said, it's too late in the game. I got to do something. I'm not taking those crossings, and I don't foresee me taking Liege, because even though I seem to win a lot of battles over here, which you can see now, I've really busted a hole wide open over here, and I didn't get the boo-boo. I think what this is, you see there's really nothing back here to stop them. There would be if the British would cross the river, but there's nothing really back here to stop them other than roadblocks and trying to scramble somebody with truck movement or strategic mode to get back there. But my God, I can't get enough from here away from the Germans so that they can get on those trucks and get back there. And I'm trying to pull them back here, but it's just not fast enough. Because like I say, there's probably 4 or 5 units I could yank at. Now, maybe next turn, I don't know. That I could yank out of here and pull them back and around to try to stop all this, okay? And right now the Germans are fine with where they are in their supply. You get a couple of, and there's so many roads, so you get a couple Americans in the right place, Allied units, and maybe you can cut some of them Germans off. But they're just going to move, or they'll pull somebody up to fix it for them. Because other than the American armored units, the German armored units and the Panzer Grenadier units are much more efficient, much more effective. So I had pulled Patton's boys off, and because I said, well, I got to fall back. So the easiest way was to go back into the map box, which I think it costs you 1 movement point to go back through an entry hex. And I put them back in the map box. I had taken the artillery, because they were still in the map box, and I moved them up to that one, thinking, okay, I'll get Patton and his guys up there, then we'll go and we'll gallivant down the road, we'll stuff the Germans, and then we'll start driving them back to Bastogne. It'll all be said and done, and it'll be an Allied victory before the day after Christmas. But then, when you have an entry hex occupied, and only from what I read the rules, it only takes one, you cannot move reinforcements out of that map box into any one of those sectors' entry hexes unless all of the entry points are clear. And I have to assume that is, the Germans cut off this entry hex here, so that means their line over here to the left is also pushing forward. That would be my guess, which would force the Americans to go farther up. So I said, okay, let's pull Patton, let's get all these guys out. I'm assuming that's George. And put him back in the map box, and then on the next turn, we'll move everybody he's got up to that map box. Well, guess what happened? This guy ran over here and grabbed that entry hex using strategic movement. And he is still in supply. Well, yeah, he's still in supply for the moment. We'll see how that goes. Regardless now, so that changed so much for that plan, because Patton wasn't going to do nothing up there, because first I would have had to move him on this next turn to that this turn to that box that we just played. And then on the more AM turn coming up, he could have moved on and attacked. So I said, well, what's another way of taking the German victory away? And that is to take 3 of the starting areas, which, by the way, sorry off the top of my head, I don't remember, one of you all said, let Patton, Vinzel, was it you? Let Patton just go ahead and cut the legs out from underneath the Germans. But I didn't think. Good plan. Let's go there's 3 starting areas sitting right there. So Patton was in this box. I decided, you know what? We're going to attack back onto the map, and looky here. Not using the old brain for both sides for me. First it was with the Americans, now it's with the Germans. He's back on, and I don't see much to stop him. So how does that get stopped? Some of these German units that I moved out in strategic movement to go up here, they're going to have to turn around now and come back to stop Patton from taking some of these starting areas. So at the moment, if I said who right now would be favored to win this thing before the game ends, I would have to say the Allies, because there's not a whole lot keeping them from going into here and taking these starting areas. If they can be slowed down, I would tend to think that the Germans have an opportunity, which would be a first for me in any Bulge game I've ever played, except for one I think I played as a kid where we didn't really understand the rules. But not that I really understand the rules today either. But because they would be able to possibly take 8 victory locations on that western map. They can move up and take those ones along the river that are on this side of the Meuse, because the Brits can't come across it. So, I don't know. There's probably some rule that says when they can. Plus, you've got 2 American tank units that are sitting right here that they can't cross until a German crosses the Meuse River. So they're not going to come into play if the Germans don't cross the Meuse. All right, so this has been a stagnant corner down here, trying to pull the Allies back. This little group of Allies right here has been tough. They've been hanging on. So because they've been hanging on so well, that's where I yanked most of the German armor out and punched this hole through here. This guy was fine. Nobody was going to touch him, that Allied infantry unit. But now, look, Germans are all behind him. There's a victory location right there. They're probably going to jump on that in a second. And there's the one up there, Simonitch, that they've already taken. And he can just drive on to Dinant on the next turn. And I don't see that British infantry attacking him across that river up there. So there's the picture. I'm a little more pumped up about it. I would think you could tell in my voice. 2 days left, the Christmas day and the day after Christmas. And we're going to go ahead and finish this and see what the outcome's going to be. Hoop, holler, cuss, yell, scream, comment, whatever. Put it down in the comments box. Let me know what you think. And like I said, I do look at your all suggestions, and when I can pick something out of it that I can effect, then I will try to do it. So let me know what you think. And hey, if I don't talk to anybody here soon, which I'm sure I will because I'm doing this day by day, everybody have a great holiday. Celebrate with your families, your friends, relatives, all that stuff, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it may be, and have a great time. And hey, let's kick off 2021 and just remove 2020 as if it never happened. All right, we'll talk to y'all soon.